Good evening to you all. In this new video, we are going to discuss the question related to president asked in various exams. And through this question, we will also discuss the basic concept or some factual information related to president. So going to the first question. Coming to first question. Given below are the two statements. Assertion says that Union Executive is headed by President of India, and reason says that there is no limitation on power of President. So we will analyze the first statement, the Union Executive. So as all of you must be knowing that there are three organs of government. First is legislature, second is executive, and third is judiciary. The work of legislature is to frame laws, regulation and policies, and the executive, the task of executive is to implement these laws and policies which are made by legislature. And judiciary is the organ of government which do check that these organs do not exceed their power. So these are the three organ of government. Here we are talking about union executive. So union executive, we must be knowing that union executive consists of four parts. First is president, second is vice president, third is prime minister and his council of minister, and fourth is the attorney general of India. So you have to remember that these are the four part of union executive. Attorney general is the highest legal officer of India. So why the president is head of union executive? Because all the decisions which are taken at the government of India level, at the central government level, they are taken in the name of president. So union executive is headed by president of India. That is correct. There is no limitation on power of president. So this statement is absolutely wrong, because as we have a constitution, a written constitution, which clearly defines the power of every organ of government, every constitutional post. So the constitution is supreme. So there is a limitation on the power of president. So he or she can take decision only according to the power defined in the constitution, which are given to the president. So he or she can't exceed their power. So this statement is incorrect. So the answer is C. A is true and R is false. So coming to the next question. So how is the president of India elected? So first of all, we must know that it is an indirect election. Indirect in the sense that people do not directly vote for the post of president, like in the case of MLAs or MP, we directly vote for that person. So that is not the case with the president. So we will briefly discuss the process how the president is elected in India. So first of all, there is a term which you must have heard, electoral college. So electoral college is similar like a pool of member, and this electoral college consists of the electoral college of president, because electoral college, this word has been used in vice president also. There the electoral college is different. Here this electoral college is different, its composition is different, the word has been is almost same. So in the electoral college which elect the president, it comprises of, first you must remember that it consists only of the elected members. Elected member, first of both houses of parliament, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Second, elected member of all legislative assemblies of all states. So elected member of all legislative assembly of all states are also included. uh, these are the person which we call by name MLAs. So all the elected MLAs take part in this process. Third part is there are two union territories who have the legislature. You must be knowing the name is first is Delhi and Puducherry. These two union territories have also legislature. So these the MLAs in these legislature are also included in the electoral college which elect the president. And one more thing I want to tell you that recently Jammu Kashmir has also been bifurcated into two union territories. First is uh, first is Ladakh and union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. So in the Jammu Kashmir Reorganization Act, it provided for a legislative assembly for the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, not for the Ladakh. But elections are yet to be held, which are still pending due to various reasons. So once the MLAs got get elected in this union territory, in this legislative assembly of union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, so they will also participate in this election. As of now, they are not there because election has not been held. So this is the basic information about the electoral college. Second important thing you have to remember about the electoral college is that what all person are not included in the electoral college. As I have told you which person are involved in the electoral college. So at the same time you must also remember that which person are not included in the electoral college. So all the nominated person in Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. So as of now in Lok Sabha there are no nominated member because there was earlier the quota for Anglo-Indian community. There are total 545 member and two were out of 545, 543 were elected and two were nominated from the Anglo-Indian community. But this quota has been scrapped out in the 104th amendment in 2020. While in the Rajya Sabha uh, we have the elected member and nominated. As we all know that there are 245 member. So out of the 245 member, 233 member are elected and 12 are nominated. As 12 are nominated from various different field, which are art, lit, science. So these are the field: art, science, social science, and social science, not social science, social service and literature. So these are four various fields from where these 12 person are nominated. So these person are not included, only the elected member. So all the nominated member, here it has been scrapped out, so no need to remember. But in the Rajya Sabha there are 12 nominated member, so they are not included. Mm, and who all first these person are not included. Secondly, all the nominated member in the legislative assemblies, all the nominated member in the legislative assemblies, because some legislative assembly have indirect member, they are nominated by the governor. So there are some state assemblies, especially in the northeast, so they are not included. Plus the member of legislative councils, whether they are elected or nominated, they are not at all involved in this election. Third, the nominated member of in the union territories which have legislature, they are also not included. So UTs where there are nominated member, they are UTs where there is legislature and they have nominated member, so they are also not included in this election. So this is the second most important aspect about the electoral college, what all persons are not included. Third aspect is that all the state legislative assemblies which are dissolved, the member in a dissolved assembly do not take part in this election. So you have to remember that dissolved assembly do not take part, although the suspended assemblies can take part in this election process. Suspended is like a glass full of water which is freezed, means there are MLAs but they are not working. But in a dissolve, the water has been emptied, means there is no MLA. The election are to be held for the new assembly, so they do not take part. Like for example, in the recent election where Draupadi Murmu was elected, the assemblies of Assam and Nagaland were dissolved, so they did not take part in this election. So in this way we can remember that these are the three important things: what are the composition of electoral college, which all person take part, which all person do not take part, and third aspect was that about the dissolved assemblies and suspended assemblies. So dissolved assemblies do not take part, though suspended assemblies can take part in this election. So the answer of this question is that President of India is indirectly elected. Indirect, I have told you that what do we mean by indirect election. The electoral college elect the president, not the people. So we elect representative MPs or MLAs, and these MPs and MLAs in turn elect the president. So that is a simple definition of indirect election. Next, coming to the next question, two union territories uh, which have given the right to take part, which have been given the right to take part in the election of president by India by the 17th amendment. So this is a very factual information. 17th amendment of Indian Constitution, which you can remember, which can be asked in any PCS exam. So I told you about the composition of electoral college. So we have to remember that Delhi and Puducherry are the two union territories which have MLAs, that is which have state legislature, not state, union territory legislature, so they can take part in this election. So here the answer is Delhi and Puducherry. Coming to the next question, the president of India is elected by an indirect election. That I have told you that what do we mean by indirect election, though that is correct. Reason, there is provision of electoral college consisting of elected member of both houses of parliament and elected member of legislative assemblies of state. So that is a correct statement. So the answer is both A and R are individually true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So the statement is correct, and we have to be very careful that if it has added the word only, then it may have been wrong, because it also consists of member of legislative assembly of two union territories, that is Delhi and Pondicherry. So we have to be very careful. The statement is correct though, because the word only has not been added there. So our answer is C. Coming to the next question, fifth. In India, the president is elected by. So we have to remember that there are three words which have been used for the election of president. First is that it is a indirect election. We all know that it is indirect election. Second, how the process of this election take place. So first is that it take place through proportional representation. There is a concept of single transferable vote system also, and instead of open ballot there is a system of secret ballot system. So these are the three words: single transferable vote system, proportional vote system, and secret ballot system. So we will try to understand these three words. Indirect, we know about it. Proportional representation has been used, but some of the constitutional experts says that it is not a right word. It has been a misnomer. That misnaming has been done, because proportional representation means that there must be a constituency where there are multiple seats. Suppose there are 10 seats, 10 vacancies, and according to the performance of the parties, according to the vote percentage they have secured. Suppose there are three parties ABC, they have secured 10%, 20%, and third is 70%. So in accordance to the proportion of the vote secured, they will be given a seat out of 10. So 70% is that, so 7 seat will be given to C party, 2 seat will be given to the B party, and 1 seat will be given to the one party. So this proportional representation is actually in a multi-member constituency, but in India, as we know that there is only one seat of president. So this has been a misnomer, but still we use the word proportional representation. Otherwise, it is basically called preferential or alternate vote system. But for as of now, we have to remember that that is proportional representation. Second word was single transferable single transferable vote system. So this word has also been a misnomer, because there is no single vote which is given to this member of electoral college. There are multiple vote which are given to these people. We will try to understand this concept through a representation diagram. Suppose there are three candidates who are contesting election for the post of president, and there are we know that there are various person in the electoral college. So person 1, 2, 3, 4, in a way we have total, if we go by the number, there are actually 4809 voters, MLAs and MPs. So this is actually a number which I have taken out from a in a article. So these are all the numbers. So in the similar way, these all person will vote for three candidates. Suppose this person, first person, when the first person comes to give vote, so he has to vote for these three person according to his or her preferences. Suppose that first person give vote, first preference to candidate number 1, and second preference to candidate number C, and third preference to candidate number B. In the similar way, this second person gave preference, and third person also gave preference. So in the similar way, these all 4809 person will give the votes according to their preferences, for whom they want to give the first preference, second preference, and third preference. So this is a complicated. I can tell you about this system more, but for your brief information, I want to tell you that it has been a misnomer, that it is not a single vote which is given to these people, 4809 people, MP and MLA. There are multiple votes. I have told you that they have been given multiple votes, like 1, 2, 3. Three votes are given. So it is a misnomer. And transferable vote system means that in this election, basically what happens that, suppose after the voting is over, their preferences will be counted. Like for whom, for C candidate, how many first preference has been given. Suppose he has been given, we can take example of 100 people only. This is a huge number which is actually in the practice, but for your understanding, we take a simple number, 100% are there. So the first preference has been given to C for, suppose, 18 times, and for person B, suppose there are first preferences of number 32. So this makes how much? Suppose 42. So this makes 60, and 40 first preference has been given to the person number A. So in the first round we will eliminate the person with the least first preferences, so this person is eliminated, and his 18 first preferences, so he has been given 18 first preferences. So in the next round we will see that uh, the person who gave him first preferences, we will see that person that for whom they have given the second preferences. Suppose for C, this person number 2 has given first preferences, first preference. So we will see that the second person, because C has been eliminated, then we will see his second preference. So he has given, this person has given second preference to B. So his vote will be this out of 18 first preferences, his vote will be transferred to this B person. So in this process goes on until a quota is secured, and there is a formula for that quota, that is total number of valid vote polled upon number of vacancies, that is obviously 1 plus 1. This is a formula, we will not go behind the reason why this formula has been devised, but it is a formula which is usually um, given to calculate the quota which a person has to secure to be elected as a president, plus 1. So this is a quota. Suppose in the first round only this person secures a quota, the required quota, then he is automatically elected as president. But if no person acquires the quota vote, then this process which I told you, that the votes are transferred, where a person is eliminated, his second preferences are counted, that for whom that person has given the second preferences. So in the similar fashion this process go on. We do not have to much understand about this process, because this is nowhere asked. But for a simple information, I told you that what is the meaning of word single transferable vote system. Third point, I told you about the secret ballot system. Secret ballot system means that there is no concept where we can show that to whom the person is giving the vote. We can't display to anybody that whom I have given the vote, or those person the part of electoral college they have given the vote. So there is a total secrecy. Like in the like in the case of Rajya Sabha, there is system of open ballot system, where the candidate who is voting for the people contesting election for the post of Rajya Sabha member, they can, their vote to whom they have given the vote can be displayed to the authorized person by the party. Suppose I am a MLA, I can be ordered to show my vote, that to whom I have given the vote, and that person to whom I am showing that vote must be a authorized person by the party. So that is the concept of open ballot system. But in the case of president, there is a total secrecy, and moreover the parties can also not issue a whip. Whip is like a order. The parties cannot issue a whip that suppose there are two parties and they have their candidate, so they cannot issue a whip that you have to give vote to our candidate also, to our candidate only. He can give vote to the party B candidate. So that's why this concept of secret ballot system has been devised, and the parties cannot issue a whip. But in general case, the parties will only vote for their candidate. So that is the concept of secret ballot. So here the answer, in India the president is elected by single transferable vote system, proportional vote system. and third was the cigarette valid system. So these are the three words we have to remember in the election of president, and these all three words has also been used in the election of vice president also. So I have told you the meaning, a broader meaning of these three words, as I also told you that these have been used as a misnomer, and so this is enough to understand the the key process for the election of president. Coming to the next question, the electoral college of president consists of elected member of both houses of parliament. That is correct. Elected member of both houses of state legislature, not both houses. So I told you that only the assembly, state legislative assembly take part in the election, not the legislative council. So as we know that, like in the center we have Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. In the state also there are, in some state there are two houses, legislative assembly and legislative council. Like there are 6 states. Earlier there was 7, because Jammu Kashmir has been removed from the status of state. It has been bifurcated into 2 union territories. So there are 6 states. First is UP, Bihar. UP and Bihar, they are bicameral, means that they have two houses, legislative assemblies and legislative council. Second is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and third sequence we can remember is that Maharashtra and Karnataka. So you can remember these 6 states. UP, Bihar. In the Bollywood song we also hear about this state, UP, Bihar. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, we can remember by the thing that thus Telangana has been separated out of Andhra Pradesh, and Maharashtra and Karnataka, they have a border dispute. So in this way we can remember these 6 states who have a bicameral bicameral legislature. So so the legislative assembly do not take part in this election of the president. So this is an incorrect statement. Elected member of legislative assembly of all state, so that is correct. Elected member of legislative assembly of Delhi and Pondicherry, that is also correct. So here the answer comes to 1 2 3 1 3 4. So I hope it must be clear to you that what is the concept of electoral college and what all people are included in the electoral college. Next question, coming to question number 7, which among the following are not included in the electoral college for the election of president of India? What? So I have told in the starting of the lecture, I told you that we also need to remember that what all persons are not included in the electoral college. So elected member of House of People, they are there. Elected member of Council of State, they are there. Elected member of Legislative Assembly of State, they are there. Legislative Council are not there. So you have to remember that in the center level both houses are involved, but at the state level not both houses are involved, only the Legislative Assembly are involved, Legislative Council are not present. So answer is D. Which of the following are the member of electoral college for electing the president of India? So these all questions are related to the electoral college, so we can easily as I have told you about the concept, so you can easily guess the answer of these questions. All the member of 2 houses of parliament, no. All the elected member of a state legislative assembly, that is correct, because all the it is saying the all the member, no, only the elected member. All the elected member of union territory assemblies, yeah, Delhi and Pondicherry, they have only the assemblies. All the governor and lieutenant governor, that is incorrect. So in this way you can remember, you can take out the answer. The member of board of election for the president of India are elected member of Lok Sabha, elected member of Rajya Sabha, elected member of Vidhan Sabha. So do not be confused about the word Vidhan Sabha. Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan means law, legislative assembly. So this is legislative assembly, and Parishad is legislative council. Council in the Hindi meaning of council is Parishad, Vidhan Parishad. So this is not included. As I told you that second house is not included. The answer here comes to be C. The president of India is elected by only the member of Rajya Sabha, incorrect. Only a member of Western, incorrect. By the elected member of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha and state legislature, that is correct. where we see the word only, we have to be very careful. The President of India is elected by member of Parliament and member of state legislative assemblies. So that is correct. The electoral college of election of president consists of all the elected member of both houses of parliament, elected member of state legislative assemblies. That is correct. So in this way you can easily guess out the answers. Which among the following is not correct regarding presidential election? The election of successor must be held before the expiry of the term of incumbent president. President shall hold office for a term of 5 years from the date on which he enter office. That is seems to be correct. So it is asking about not correct. On the expiration of term, he continued to hold office until his successor enter upon his office. The president election may be postponed on the ground the electoral college is incomplete. So this statement is incorrect because uh, so this is clearly written in the chapter of president that the president election may be postponed, may not be postponed on the ground of the electoral college is incomplete, and all the dispute regarding the election of president are inquired and decided by the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court has the exclusive power regarding the dispute of election of president. First statement is that election of successor must be held before the expiry of the term of incumbent president. So that is correct, because as we know that the tenure is 5 years. So the next president has to be elected within the expiry of the term of sitting president. So that is correct. The president shall hold office for a term of 5 years from the date. So that is correct. When he enter the office, his term starts, and this term continue up to 5 years. On the expiration of his term, he continued to hold office. So that is also correct. Suppose due to some reason the election is not conducted, so the person already sitting on that post will continue to hold office until his successor enter upon the office. So that is also correct. The president can also resign from his office, giving the resignation letter to. So that is very tricky. He can give resignation letter to vice president. And one more important thing you have to remember, that the president is eligible for re-election any number of time. There is no such rule that a president can be elected only for 2 time or 3 time. Like in American Constitution, a person cannot be elected to the office of president more than twice. So that is a rule. So we have to we have to remember this concept, these factual small informations. And coming to next question, minimum number of elector needed to proposer for the presidential candidate. So here we have to remember that to avoid any non-serious candidate contesting for the election of president, there is a rule that there should be minimum number of electors which are needed to propose his name for the presidential office. So in the case of president, these electors are 50. So 50 elector as proposer and 50 as seconder. Means after the 50 member elector proposes his name, they have to be supplemented by other 50 members electors, which we call them as seconder. These are the proposer and these are the seconder. So the answer is 50. Next question. So here it is clearly written 50 to be proposer and next 50 to be a seconder for the nomination. We will take the next question. In the electoral college of presidential election in India, the value of vote of a elected member of legislative assembly equal state population divided by the number of elected member of state assembly into 100. So we will try to understand this concept, that how the value of vote of an MLA is taken out, and how the value of vote an MP is taken out. The value of vote of an elected member of parliament equals the total value of vote of all elected MLA divided by total number of MP. So this seems to be correct. There are more than 5,000 voters in the latest election. So I told you that this can be this can be taken out from the current affairs, that in the recent election there were 4809 electors voters. This comprises of all the elected MLAs and MPs in our country. There are around 4000. In the recent election there were 4033 MLAs, though I told you that some of these state assembly did not take part due to dissolution of their assemblies. So in the recent election where Draupadi Murmu was elected, there were 4033 MLAs and 543 member of parliament in Lok Sabha and 233 member of parliament in Rajya Sabha. That make it total to 4809. So this may vary, depend on the question where when it was asked. So suppose if it has been asked in 2023, so this statement must have been incorrect, because there were only 4809 voters in the elections. So it is a variable statement. So the first statement says that the value of vote of an elected legislative assembly member of legislative assembly equals the state population. So this you can easily remember uh, in the from the book, but I will explain this statement. As we know that the president is a vital part of our democratic polity. His or her decision impact the state also. So state has also been given a crucial role in the election of president. So calculate if we calculate the vote of a MLA, how the vote of an MLA is calculated. The vote of MLA, the value of vote of MLA is calculated through total population of that state divided by total number of elected member total number of elected member of legislative assembly. We know that only the member of legislative assembly take part. So total population upon total number of elected MLAs of that state, and for a simplification we divide by 1000. This population, for the simplification of population, we divide it by 1000. So that is the formula for the value of vote of an MLA. So I told you in that single transferable vote system that you have to give the preferences, but the value of vote of a MP or MLA does not means that it is a vote value of one only, like in the election where we participate, common citizen participate. We when we elect the MLA or MP, vote of our value is only one. But in the case of election of president, the value of vote of a MP or MLA or the member of electoral college, they do not have a vote value in single digit, that is one. They have a their vote value differ from state to state, especially of MLA. I will tell you that the vote value of MPs are same, but in case of MLAs their vote values varies, because population of state varies, total number of elected member of legislative assembly also varies. So if these two variables varies, then obviously the vote value of each MLA varies. Like in the case of UP, which has the highest population in India, the vote value of an MLA of UP is 208. Suppose a elector from the legislative assembly of UP cast his vote value is 208. and some state have a vote value of only 7, like Sikkim, because they have a very less population and total number of elected MLAs are also less, so their vote value is only 7. So in a sense, the population, the people have been given a greater voice. Where the population is more, they have been given a greater voice. So we do not have to remember. I'm telling you a number which I have taken out from a Hindu article, that the total vote value of all the MLAs of India, it uh, comes up to 5,43,231. So that is the vote value of 4033 MLAs. So if it has been, if it has been only one vote, one person, one vote, one value, then the value of vote must have been this. But as I told you that the vote value of MLAs differ from state to state, so the vote value comes up to 5,43,231. So these figures we do not have to cram. This is, I am telling you for your understanding. And I told you that center and state have been given a equal representation in the election of president, because president has a vital role which impact the state in a different aspect, like in the case of emergencies, like in the case of passing of bill, when the governor reserve the bill for the consideration of president, so the state must also be given the equal representation. In the similar way, mm, the MPs at the center. So when we calculate all the votes of all the state MLAs, this come up to the full 5,43,231 of all the state MLAs. So this is the vote value. And how do we calculate the vote value of uh, parliament? So this is very simple. When we calculate the vote value of all MLAs, if we divide this vote value by total number of MPs in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, elected one, so that comes to 543 plus 233, that is 776. So in this way we can calculate the vote value of an MP, and this is different from the vote value of MLAs, because in the MLAs, all the state MLAs, their vote value differ, but in case of parliament, the vote value of each MP is same. So the statement says that the value of vote of elected member of parliament equals the total vote value of all elected MLAs. This is the total value of all elected MLAs of all state and union territories divided by total number of elected MP. So in this way, their vote values, total vote value is same, because this will be the vote value of one MP. When we calculate, we have to multiply that single vote value of an MP multiplied by the total MPs, so the number will be same. So in this way we can calculate the vote value of one MLA or one MP and all the MPs and all the MLAs. So total vote value comes to, this vote value is same for all the MPs, this is the for the MPs, all the MPs, and this is for all the MLAs. So if we can double this number, so that comes to around 10 lakh, around more than 10 lakh. So as the total vote value of MLAs of the state and MPs of in the parliament, the total vote value is same. So in this way they have been given the equal representation, equal say in the election of president. So in this way you can remember these statements. Now you can calculate the vote value of elected member of legislative assembly, total population divided by total number. It is not multiplied by 100, it is in fact divided by 1000 for the simplification of number. And the second point is the total value of vote of elected MLA. So I told you that when we calculate the total vote value of all the elected MLAs of all the state. If we divide by the total MPs, elected MPs, so we can get the value of one vote of an elected MP. So in this way, this is the basic information, this is the basic concept behind this electoral college and this numbers, figures. So you do not have to remember these figures, this is just for your understanding. So we will discuss next question in another video, as I have told you about the basic concept how the election take place. Thank you and have a nice day. If you like our content or video, please like and subscribe our channel.